Hello and welcome to Barry's Basics, where our guides are straight to the point and strictly only the basics. In this guide, I will be going over the basics of blackjacking. Blackjacking is a pickpocketing method that offers competitive experience rates in the thieving skill compared to traditional pickpocketing at the cost of being more click-intensive and requiring more attention. As far as requirements go, you will need at least level 30 in the thieving skill. You will also need to complete the quest, The Feud. In order to begin blackjacking, you will first need to purchase a blackjack from the blackjack trader in Paldnivnich, Ali Morassane in Al Kharid, or from the Grand Exchange. In order to purchase blackjacks from Ali Morassane and the blackjack trader, you will need to complete the blackjacking portion of the Rogue Trader minigame. The type of blackjack you use makes no difference when blackjacking, but only when using a blackjack as a weapon in combat, so any type of blackjack will do the trick. As far as your inventory goes, it is recommended to bring food that leaves an item behind when eaten, like jugs of wine, pies, or baskets of strawberries. I will go over the reasoning behind this further into the guide. You will also need to leave one inventory slot open for coins, or bring some coins with you before beginning. As far as equipment goes, you will need to bring your blackjack, and optionally, the rogue outfit for double the loot from pickpocketing. There are 4 types of NPCs that can be blackjacked, all of which are located in Paldnivnich. The most common method of reaching Paldnivnich is by use of the magic carpet system. This will require a small number of coins to use. As an alternative method, you can also use the house teleport spell if your house is located in Paldnivnich, or by use of a scroll of redirection, provided you have level 20 construction. Once you have reached Paldnivnich, you will first need to ensure that your blackjack is equipped, and then you will need to locate a suitable NPC that you would like to blackjack and pickpocket depending on your thieving level. The NPCs that can be pickpocketed using the blackjacking method are villagers, requiring 30 thieving, low-tier bandits, requiring 45 thieving, high-tier bandits, requiring 55 thieving, and Menophyte thugs, requiring 65 thieving. Once you have located an NPC, right-click them and select the Lure option, and then select the first chat option. After the dialogue is complete, the NPC will follow your character. At this point, it is recommended to bring them to a location that is out of sight from other NPCs, like one of the nearby houses, provided the door is closed. Once the NPC has been lured to a suitable area, you will need to right-click them and select the Knockout option. As an important note, if an NPC is already in a secluded area, you do not need to lure them before selecting the Knockout option. After selecting the Knockout option, your character will attempt to knock out the targeted NPC, and if successful, the NPC will fall to the ground and a message will appear in your chat box to indicate the successful attempt. Once an NPC has been knocked out, you may pickpocket them without any worries of being caught and stunned. If you fail to knock the NPC out, they will become aggressive to you and will attempt to attack you. If this occurs, you will need to reset the aggression of the NPC by moving a fair distance from the NPC or by climbing a set of stairs or a ladder in the nearby area. To avoid this, immediately right-click the NPC once again after selecting the Knockout option, and then left-click the Pickpocket option once your character's blackjack reaches the NPC in the knockout animation, as shown here. If you time this correctly, your pickpocket attempt will cause them to drop aggression towards you should you fail to knock them out. As an important note, to prevent your character from attempting a normal pickpocket, you will need to have a full inventory with no space for coin pouches. As I mentioned earlier in this guide, if you use food items that leave an item behind after being eaten, this will cause your inventory to stay full. The reason for this is that when pickpocketing from an NPC that is knocked out, you will only receive coins and not coin pouches. Therefore, you will only be able to attempt to pickpocket an NPC if they are knocked out if your inventory has no room for coin pouches. This is not absolutely necessary, but will substantially increase your experience rates since you will be ruling out the possibility of being stunned from a normal pickpocket attempt. To make things a bit simpler, I will briefly go over the method that I typically use when blackjacking. After luring the NPC, right-click them and select the Knockout option. Immediately right-click the NPC again, and then left-click the Pickpocket option once your character's blackjack reaches the NPC. After clicking the Pickpocket option, immediately right-click the NPC again and select the Pickpocket option again if the NPC was successfully knocked out, or the Knockout option if the attempt was not successful. Then simply repeat this process. This may take practice, but with time and improvement, you will typically be able to pickpocket the NPC 2 or 3 times before they are able to recover from being knocked out, resulting in higher experience rates compared to pickpocketing other NPCs that require a similar thieving level. To wrap things up, I will go over several tips and side notes. To begin, you can purchase jugs of wine from the bar in Paldnivnich. This will allow you to restock your food supply much quicker than having to travel to a bank and back. You can also bring food items in banknote form and pay the banknote exchange merchant just north of the general store to unnote them for you. As a final tip, if you make a mistake and an NPC begins to attack you, you can right-click the NPC and select the Lure option the moment one of the NPC's attacks land on you. If you skip through the dialogue before the NPC attacks again, the lure attempt will cause them to lose aggression towards you. Once your health bar is gone, you can continue safely knocking out and pickpocketing the NPC again. This concludes the basics of blackjacking. If you have any questions that I did not answer with this guide, feel free to leave a comment on this video and I will be happy to answer your question to the best of my ability. If you require more advanced information on this topic, you can find a link to the official Old School RuneScape wiki article on this subject in the description of this video. If this guide helped you, please take the time to give this video a like. If you'd enjoy more videos similar to this one, you can subscribe to this channel for easy access to all current and future content provided. To be notified of future content from this channel, you can also left-click on the notification bell located next to the subscribe icon. Feel free to leave a comment to make a request for a guide similar to this one, and thank you for watching.